high-speed motor in a 40 Ford coupe. She had a racing cam and a supercharged. Look out, buddy, hot rod at large. She's a hot rod. She's a hot rod. She's my hot rod.
Enterprise. Enterprise Rent-A-Car now has an app. Everybody's got an app. I told you earlier, here an app, there an app. Well, everybody's got an app. We're on everybody's app. I'm sure that Ronnie the Wrench out there in California, San Diego, is watching me on his phone going, oh, George, get a haircut. Well, not now. I already got it. But anyway, Enterprise Rent-A-Car has a mobile app now that lets the customers that they rent their cars to provide feedback to automakers on the quality and performance of their extended test drives they're taking. They rent a car for a few days. They have an app where they can tell Ford, Chevy, Chrysler, Toyota, Honda, whoever, hey, this car stinks, or boy, this car rides nice, or this car runs nice. This car's got bad seats, Who knows? But now you're going to be able to go right to the manufacturer and tell them what you think of their car, which I don't know if that's going to be good or not. This Rate This Ride, it's called. Okay. Enterprise calls it Rate This Ride, and they launched it last summer already. With little or no fanfare. They didn't want anybody to know about it for sure. Just the customers as they rented the cars. Well, now they're letting everybody know that if you rent an Enterprise car, you can give feedback to the various car makers on their cars. Of course, you'll be forced to keep it clean, boys and girls. There'll be no telling them what you really think. You'll have to tell them kind of what you think. ArcelorMittal, our buddies here at the steel mill right here along the lake, our pals, they came up with a new technology that I don't know anything about. I'll be absolutely honest with you with this one. This is a body deal, and I'm going to tell you what they call it, and then maybe there's a steel worker out there that can tell me what this is. But it's the world's first 5-piece hot-stamped laser-welded door ring and B-pillar. Okay? It's in the Chrysler Pacifica. And I know what the B-pillar is. In the B-pillar, if you're sitting in your driver's seat of your car, the A-pillar is the one right between the front door and the windshield. The B-pillar is the one at the back door, between the back door, or the back of the door and the back door. The front driver's door between the backside door. So that's the B-pillar. And this supposedly is the first ever. ArcelorMittal, our steel company up here, they're rocking and rolling. Everybody's rocking and rolling these days in manufacturing. Man, that's just jumped. It's jumped into proportions you wouldn't believe. But ArcelorMittal has come up with an invention that's made these guys, Chrysler Pacifica, very happy. Very, very happy. Should I say very, very happy? Yes, they were very, very happy. Toyota has built a huge truck. Yeah. At the Port of Los Angeles, they have this great big truck, and they powered it with a hydrogen fuel cell system. It's at the Port of Los Angeles. You can see it every day. It's just doing a feasibility study. They're trying to see how this will work in this situation, and dropping trucks back. It's not over the road. It's a vehicle that hangs around the port and hauls big trailers from here to there and back and forth. I got to tell you, I think it should work. Hydrogen is like natural gas or propane. It's got every bit as much power as gasoline without any Arab oil in it, which I really like, by the way. There's no dirt, there's no crud, there's no residue from combustion. Hydrogen is clean stuff. It throws water out the tailpipe. What does that tell you? There'll be a lot of different manufacturers of different car parts going out of business if we go hydrogen. You'll be able to throw the catalytic converters away. And if any of you had to ever buy one of those, let me just tell you how much those cost. I don't have to tell you. They go anywhere from, for a direct fit that will pass emissions, they go from $600 to $2,000. And you can throw them away because you don't need them. Same way with propane or natural gas. Don't need it. Don't need an air pump. You can take a lot of stuff off that engine. That could be a pretty powerful engine when we're done. Let me just tell you. Down in Venezuela. Now here is another reason to just get your butt back up over the border here and build your cars here. General Motors had to shut down its operations in Venezuela this week when the government seized the plant. Oh yeah, they got grief down there. Of course, it's a Central American country. When they don't like their leader, they take him out and shoot him and get a new one, and everybody riots. The people that liked him, the people that didn't, and that's just how they operate. It's not America. But you went down there and you built your Chevy, whatever I don't even know what they were building down there. I didn't read this article far enough. I was just amazed that they had to shut down the plant and then they had to get their people out of there. Some of them, they had their engineers and stuff down there from America. Had to haul them out of there as fast as they could. It doesn't really say, I think what they were making there. But anyway, whatever they were making there, it doesn't matter. There was 2,600 employees there. There were 79 dealers in the Venezuelan country where they sold some of those cars. Get back to America, build them here. This is why you want to stay here. This is a real good reason because you know what? You know how they're going to get that plant back? They're not. Once that rogue government takes control of something, it belongs to the state. And don't let it kid you. If they got nobody that can run that thing, they don't care. They just want to own it. They're like, what's his name over there in North Korea? Oh boy, I got something. There goes the General Motors plant down the chutes, 2,600 people out of jobs because the government changed hands. And they don't change hands, they change heads down there. They don't change hands. Okay? It's not a clean sweep. It's not very nice at all the way they do things there. Get back to America, build the cars here, ship them out there, let them people pay the freight. If they want a car, let them buy an American car. And let them buy it from America. And pay the duty as it goes backwards across the border. Hey, you're on with the car guy, buddy.
Hey, when you go over to LaPorte, Indiana, you ever go south of town to the Historical Museum?
No. What's in there?
They got all them cars. Pete Kessling has got all them cars there.
Holy cow. If I get out that way in this summer, you're going to have to give me your number. I got your number. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to call you. I'll pick you up, and you can take me out there. How would that be?
Yeah.
I have never seen that place. And I've lived here all my life, and I've never known about that.
Okay. He owns Rocky's, that dental place out there in Westville.
Okay.
Across from Purdue.
Okay. His
name's Pete Kessling.
Okay. I'll write that down. And I'm going to jot your number down. And I'll get you when I come out that way this summer. You and
Call him up and talk to him.
We're going to go out and take a look at that place.
Yeah, I was in the smartest class in LaPorte, Indiana. We named Pete Kessling president of the class. We elected him.
Wow.
He owns all them cars.
Well, that's
all that
cool.
land out there.
Well, that's cool. I
You
really
never
want to
heard
get
of
out
him?
and see that. Yeah, I've never heard of it. I never knew about it.
We'll call over there and talk to him.
I'm going to, buddy. Thanks for calling.
It's LaPorte. Yeah, okay. Have a good day.
In
Bye.
LaPorte. All right, buddy. Thanks. Wow. That is so cool. I've never heard of that. I've never been. Kessling Museum, it's called, huh? All right. We're going to, T-Rex, Google that, will you, and write me up a report. Doggone it. Come on. I'm putting off car shop. I always put off car shopping. I hate it. Don't you hate car shopping? Come on. Tell the truth. But now, I told you. And if anybody was listening Thursday when I called into Rick and Nick, in the morning, like 7:40, whatever it was, this is the time to buy a car. Some dealers have over 120 days inventory on new and used cars. That's 4 months that they have to move. They're not supposed to have that much. 60 days is a big inventory. 120 days is unheard of. So, what does that mean? Savings for you. Now's the time to buy. I don't care which one you buy. I don't care where you go. They all got the same problem. Cars are coming back off a lease. it all ripples down. And I said this the other morning, and I don't know if anybody actually got it. This is the final ripple in that little bitty wave called cash for clunkers. This is the last straw. All these cars that all of a sudden got leased 3-4 years ago, blah, 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 are all coming back off lease now. They're low miles. This is the time. This is the last time you're going to get a deal like this, because there's not going to be a glut of all these used cars and new cars because of the used cars being out there. Of course, then you got a lot of new cars that aren't getting sold because the new used cars are, of course, cheaper. See your local dealer today. See any dealer today. I have a couple special dealers that I encourage people to go to. I really like the auto store in Griffith. Joe over there, Kenny rather, has got a heck of a deal over there, and he just is good to people. He treats people right. That's what he does. So I like that guy. He's a good guy. There's a couple other ones that I would send you to, too, if you call me. Call my shop one day. It's 708-895-9520. Ask for George. Ask for the car guy. You'll get me. But now's the time to buy these cars. Sales are expected to record the best summer ever. And why? Because they're giving them away. The prices are low. Before you go shopping, let's talk about this a little bit. Before you go out and look, first and foremost, let's remember that the second biggest purchase you ever make after your house is your car. And some of them, I can remember cars that cost more than my first house, I'll be honest with you. Especially now. Man, my first house was $29,900. You can't buy a car for that these days. All right, before you even go out and look, you want to look at different things. Usage. How are you going to use this car? Make up your mind. Be practical about this. How are you going to use this car? Is this going to be local? Is it going to be a grocery getter? Is this for your wife or your daughter to go to school or your son to go to school? Of course, if it's for your son, he's going to hot rod the heck out of it. Just trust me. I was there. I did it too. But anyway, if it's a local vehicle, then that's one kind. If it's going to be on the highway, you want something different. If you're going to be at distance and high speeds, you're going to want better mileage. Who's going to be driving it? An adult or a teenager? Is the teenager his first car, or are they an experienced teenage driver? The safety level, performance, fuel economy, all these fit into your questionnaire about what do I need to buy, because you're going to have a lot of choices out there. It's not just Ford, Chevy, and Chrysler anymore. You're going to have Toyota and Honda and Nissan and Lexus and Acura and even a Tesla if you want. I don't think there are any used Teslas. I don't think they've gotten that far yet. I don't want to talk about it. But anyway, and the other thing you got to remember, guys, and this is especially for my old timer buddies out there, because I'm an old timer. That old car when we were kids in the 60s, we buy a car for $150. It was golden. Man, we could drive that the rest of the summer. Maybe have to put brakes on it, or maybe have to do this to it. Piddly stuff. Put a tune-up on it. Of course, that's when you tune them up once a year, too. You don't do that anymore. That was a $150 car. That same car now, in 2017, is $3,000. If you go to a used car lot, even the used car lot that specializes in buy here, pay here, and high mileage cars, you're going to spend $3,000 for a car that if it gets off the lot and stops at the next corner, that's all they care about. They give you the taillight warranty. Once your taillights are out of sight, so's your doggone warranty. And that's how they operate. But those cars are not like it used to be. That $150 car is now a $3,000 car. They're just, I don't know, there's something else. And another thing, swear to me, hold your hand over your heart and swear to me, you will not buy a car off the side of the road with a for sale sign in it. That's not a deal. Everybody says, oh, that's some guy selling his mother-in-law's car, or somebody that just died, his grandma's car, she just died. No, it's not. That's a car jipper. Think about this. The guy who has that sweet deal, grandma's car, been in the garage for 2 years and she passed, and now it's time to get rid of it. It's got 30,000 miles on it, yada, yada. Never been smoked in. Those are going to go to a friend of the family or somebody that knows the family. Those do not end up on the side of the road with a for sale sign in them. Trust me. The ones on the side of the road are what's known as a car jipper. He's not a car dealer. He's a car jipper. He buys junks. He buys totals. He buys anything he can get his hands on and cosmetically patches it up. They buy flood cars from the insurance companies, hail damage cars from the insurance companies, anything they can patch up and make a big buck on. And they do. You think they're making a couple $100 on you? They're making a couple $1,000 on you. On the side of the road, that's not a deal. That car is going to come back to haunt you. It might not even have the right engine in it. It might not have the right trans. You don't know what it's got wrong with it. But you can get in it and drive it away, and he'll charge you $6-7 for it if it's new enough. And it's junk. I'm telling you, promise me, swear on a Bible, you will not buy a used car on the side of the road. The good cars that come from families that have low mileage from somebody dying or passing away or inheritance, those cars, you got to hear about those from friends. If your buddy's grandma has a car she's going to sell because she doesn't drive anymore, you'll hear about it from him. You won't see that car on the side of the road. Those guys are crooks. They're jippers. They're selling junk, and don't you dare buy one. Most of the time, especially around here, they'll go over the border into Michigan or over the border into Illinois or over the border into Indiana. They live in the other state, and they'll sell it there. Then you can't prosecute them. You can't go find them. You can't get after them. These guys are slick. Don't buy a car from the side of the road. You heard that first here, and you're going to hear it again here. Every time somebody asks me, I repeat, do not buy a car from the side of the road. All right. That's my rant for the day. I mean, I've had people pull cars into my shop. George, look over my car I just got. This car's been wrecked. It's been welded together. It's been pieced together. Ugh. Price-wise, well, the Chevy Bolt, that's the electric version, is just, you could darn near, they'll pay you to take it almost, the way it's going. That's kind of like what the analysts are saying is proof that the car will not be a serious contender in the growing electric car market. So the Chevy Volt went poo-poo. The Chevy Bolt is going poo-poo. Chevy's got to try again. This is what they have to do because that's not happening. All right. The next one is the Kelley Blue Book. Recommends, if you're looking at an electric car, Kelley Blue Book is recommending the Toyota Prius Prime over the Chevy Volt. Okay? The Prius, I got to tell you, Chevy Volt and Bolt and all the Chevys and even Tesla, they use the lithium-ion batteries, blah, blah, blah. I think they're a little cheaper to make, blah, blah, blah. But they are the ones that always catch fire. See, what's the iPhone model that explodes in people's ears and stuff? Where Toyota's always been with a nickel-cadmium battery. They use a different kind of battery. It's not the same. They're all just as expensive. So I don't know what the difference is. But I know that the Toyota Prius has been out for a long time now. I have two companies. That Subway in this area, they have a fleet of, 6, 7, 8, 9 cars, 10 cars. They bring their electric cars to me. And they're all Priuses, and they're outstanding. So there's actually no problem there. I already told you how dangerous airbags can find their way into your car, whether it was built with one or not. The other thing is we should talk about is the Carfax and AutoCheck. Make sure you check on the websites, Carfax or AutoCheck, before you buy a car. They can tell you more on that than having it checked by your mechanic. You don't have to bother your mechanic if you get a good car check report, if it's never been wrecked. But you might want to have it looked at anyway, just in case the guy's getting rid of it, or the person that owns it is getting rid of it because of oil leaks or something that's nagging them and pestering them. You still want to have it looked at. But, Carfax and AutoCheck, check it out.